Hi everyone, so today in this video I'm going to do a 1 month postpartum update, and I've been meaning to do a postpartum update in a long time, but I just haven't gotten around to it. I actually did film something a couple weeks ago, but the camera broke and didn't film a lot of it, and plus I didn't finish it because I had a phone call to make, and yeah, so now I'm just doing the 1 month update. She turned 4 weeks yesterday, and she's going to be 1 month from like calendar date from 1 month to same calendar date next month of the next month tomorrow. So I don't know what's considered 1 month. Is it 4 weeks or is it just date to date? But whatever. So I'm gonna do 1 month update, and yeah, this video is probably going to be really long because there's a lot of things to talk about, but that's how it is. I hope it's interesting. So I am breastfeeding right now, so just because this is an easy time to film. So I did write all of my notes down, so I will be looking down occasionally to see what to say, because it's just been a really intense month, and on one hand it's just been really an intense month, and it's like I can't believe it's been a month already. It's just, I feel like it's funny because like I feel like it's I can't believe it's a month already, but on the other hand it just feels like it's been a long time, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, so the first week, I'm gonna go week by week, and then the first week is she left the hospital with borderline jaundice. She got tested twice for jaundice, and she was a little bit yellow, but not as yellow as Michelina, my first daughter, and and she was improving. She was trending towards improving her jaundice, but they had to check her anyway after. So we went to the doctor's the day after, and the doctor wasn't worried about the jaundice, and she was just like looking at her skin and like pressing her skin. No actual real test, like blood test or anything. So she wasn't worried about the jaundice, but she was worried about her weight, and she wasn't gaining as fast as she would have liked. So then on that Friday, which is maybe like 3 days after she left the hospital, she got another weight check, and she was fine. She wanted her to gain 20 to 30 grams, which is about an ounce a day, and by that Friday, which was about 3 or 4 days after she left the hospital, she was fine. Because the day after she left the hospital, when she was worried about her weight, she said that she might want her to go on formula, like maybe an ounce a day, not like 100% formula, but like supplement with formula. But that Friday, because I got out on Tuesday, that Friday she was okay. So that was like a big relief, because I mean, I honestly didn't think I would be able to breastfeed exclusively, but I have been, and that makes me really happy. Because with my first daughter, I didn't breastfeed exclusively; it was just half and half, and I just thought, I'm like, I have like smaller breasts, and I just thought like, oh, I can't breastfeed, like I just won't have enough milk. But that is not the case. Like, and my friend told me that. She's like, it doesn't really matter the size of your boobs, but that's what I thought. And I think what ended up happening was that, like the first few days in the hospital with my first daughter, I just was just having so much trouble breastfeeding. I probably just wasn't doing it right, and like, that's like a whole nother story, but I just didn't get off to the right start, which is why I didn't have enough milk. So this time around, I had a much better sense of how to do it and what I needed to do. That said, I mean, breastfeeding still was really hard. If maybe like the second or third day after I came home, I was like, I don't think I could breastfeed anymore, because I just, like, the skin was off. I guess I had cracked nipples or whatever, because, I have inverted nipples, and the pain was like too unreal, like I call it like the knives, because it feels like knives, like when she breastfed, and that was really hard. So I was like, man, I just won't be able to breastfeed, and I was like feeling so bad about it. So yeah, I think the first 2 weeks are the hardest, breastfeeding being the hardest. And I kind of forgot about all of the postpartum pain that comes along with delivering. I was like so worried about the actual like labor and delivery that I just completely forgot about postpartum. And I think postpartum is like worse than delivery, at least my delivery. I did post a labor and delivery video, which had footage from the delivery room, and I plan on doing a labor and delivery, probably just like talk through video. But quickly, labor and delivery was a breeze this time. It was like 3.5 hours, probably like 3 hours, if you really just like go from like the start of when I got induced to when I gave labor, when I delivered. And so it went so smoothly, so well. And yeah, I just forgot all about all the postpartum breastfeeding, especially. I mean, I was prepared or anticipating pain with breastfeeding, but I had forgotten, like, really in the beginning how painful it actually is. And let's see if she's still hungry. And then there was like uterine contractions, so I wasn't breastfeeding exclusively with my first daughter, and like I think when you breastfeed, you get your uterine contractions are much stronger, and because it would happen when I'm actually breastfeeding. And I just don't remember uterine contractions the first time around. So that, and then just, like the pain of your general like vaginal area, that was painful. And just like your whole body, like everything is like kind of sensitive. And taking a shower the first few days, first week maybe, everything is like you're just like moving really slow, and just taking a shower is it just like takes a long time. And then there's just like general like uninterrupted sleep. But I would have to say that the sleep hasn't been bad. Like I'm sure, I mean, it's worse for other people or whatever. But like as I was saying in my pregnancy update videos, I could have sworn that all those, waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom when you're pregnant, or in your third trimester, it definitely helps prepare you for post-pregnancy. And I think having gone through this already, I think it's easier this time around, because the first time around, I've never like pulled an all-nighter or anything like that, or never gotten like a crazy little amount of sleep or whatever. So I think the first time was much harder in terms of how much sleep I got. But this time around, like, it's been hard, don't get me wrong. Like, not having enough sleep or having interrupted sleep is hard, but I don't feel like it's as hard as the first time. So yeah. And I did start like maybe the day after I came home from the hospital, I did start doing the nighttime training, potty training with my first daughter, because I was up anyway. So I was doing that. And then I also cooked dinner the first week. And I think the first couple of weeks, and maybe even longer, maybe the first 3 weeks, it's hard. It's hard in terms of, so I live with my mom, and we definitely got into some fights the first couple of weeks, and maybe even like third week, just because you're still adjusting to your routine, and everyone is just tired, and that just like escalates everything. So I think that was really hard, but I think it depends on what kind of relationship you have with, if you're doing this with someone else, what kind of relationship you have. And good thing, we have a good relationship, that even though, I mean, every relationship fights, but as long as it, you have your fight, and then, you get over it. So we're in a better place now, you know. As long as you keep all the communication open, then I think you're okay. So we were still finding our routine. Now with babies, you really don't have a routine. Like, you can't say like, okay, the baby's gonna sleep X, you know, from this time to this time and blah blah blah, whatever. So yeah. So that was week 1. Week 2 got even worse. Like, I was talking about postpartum pain, but for me it got worse because beginning of week 2, I suspected and it was confirmed that I got mastitis, which is a infection of the breast. Just one of my breasts, but I got an infection, which made breastfeeding even that much worse. So breastfeeding was hard enough because I had open wounds, but it was even worse because it's just like the whole breast itself, like the tissue and everything was very, very, very sensitive, and it was even more painful when she breastfed, and I was just in general more tired than I needed to be. Like, you're tired postpartum because of the sleep interruption and you're just doing, you're working around the clock, but I was even more tired because of the infection. So thankfully, and the reason I knew I had it, or I suspected I had it, was because my breast tissue, there was some redness, and it wasn't even like, it wasn't all spread around. It was like maybe like a dime or a quarter size, but it was a good thing that I got an appointment right away. I got antibiotics. I started that, and it spread a little bit, but the antibiotics kept it at bay, and it thankfully cleared up after the 10 days, because you do antibiotics for 10 days. So I think week 2 was probably even harder because, you know, week 1 was hard because the breastfeeding was hard, and then week 2 with the breast, you know, with my infection, I was just generally overall tired, and then even more tired than I needed to be, and then it hurt even more. And I had one good breast, but I was like worried that I would always want to feed on that breast, and then I was worried that breast would, you know, get an open wound because I would want to always feed on that breast. So thankfully it didn't. And now finally, after I would say like 3 or 3.5 weeks, both breasts are, or the one that was open wounded, it has healed. And it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, oh, this is never going to heal. You know, she's always eating on it. It's never going to heal, but it heals. And, I did use a nipple shield, which comes in a package like this. And I talked about this in my post-pregnancy, or in my pregnancy updates. And I did thankfully use it because I was like texting a friend and she said that she found a nipple. So my camera died again, of course. I am meaning to get a new camera, maybe for Black Friday, or I don't know. We'll see. I might get a Black Friday, or sometime this year I'm gonna try to get a new camera, because Black Friday, I feel like the camera that I want, or I have some idea of what camera I might want. I don't think they might not be go on sale on Black Friday, but I will try to get a new camera. Anyway, so week 2, so that was dominated pretty much by my mastitis, and she did have a 2-week appointment, and that went all well. Her weight was all good, and she saw for the first time her actual pediatrician, because her pediatrician was on vacation or something like that the first 2 times she saw the pediatrician, and she grew 2 inches in 2 weeks, so that was pretty crazy. She had regained her birth weight plus some, so that was really good. The doctor at the 2-week visit, so is like, so she was asking me, oh, so do you have any concerns? And I was like, no, not really. Like, the only thing I have to ask is like, should I do exercise with her? And she gave me like the weirdest look, and she was like, wait, you want to exercise and you want to hold her? I was like, no, 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 no. Like, what I mean is, like, should she do exercise? Like, should I, put her on the floor so she can exercise her neck and things like that? And she's like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so she told me to start tummy time, which I don't remember doing, or I don't remember the doctor with my first daughter. I don't remember him talking about that, but I remember doing it with her, but I don't remember him saying it maybe so early. And so yeah, she at 2 weeks she told me to start tummy time, and so we've been doing that, and at that appointment, or actually I think maybe like a few the Friday appointment, or maybe it was that appointment, I can't remember, but I think by 2 weeks they had like a scale outside in the hallway of the doctor's office. So I don't have a scale at home. So I just was just curious to see how my weight was doing, and I had pretty much lost all of my pregnancy weight, except for maybe like 2 or 3 pounds. So not that I'm like trying to get back to my pre-pregnancy weight, but I was just curious because like the first day, or the day of delivery, like your belly's like still hanging out. The second day is like when you start really, or yeah, the day after you give birth is when you really start to feel the uterine contractions, and like the lower part of your belly is pretty sore and stuff like that, and everything is just like hanging down and stuff like that. So that's when I started to use the postpartum like belly band, which I'm still wearing now. And my belly is pretty much down. There's like still a layer of softness or whatever, but I think the belly band really helps. And so yeah, not that I'm like really worried about it. Like I do want to start like working out just to strengthen myself, just because I think it'll be easier to move around and things like that, but it's not like I'm gonna go through this whole like this whole like journey of trying to get back to my like pre-pregnancy body or whatever, because I know a lot of moms do that. I've seen a lot of that on Instagram, but I just want to get stronger just like in general. Do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? This is the baby. This is Esteana. Do you want to say hi? Hi. She is smiling. She just smiled like within the first few days of when I brought her home, which was like totally amazing, because I feel like my first daughter, she didn't smile until like a lot later. And so maybe it's because I just know how to take care of her better. But she looks exactly like her sister. Like it's crazy. Sometimes I want to call her sister by name, but it's awesome. She's a pretty happy baby, aren't you? Are you a happy baby? Are you a happy baby? In terms of like her height and her weight, like her sister was always in like the 90th percentile for height and weight, and above 90th or even like 100th percentile. So like she was always I wouldn't say a big baby like in terms of like overweight baby, but she was always like a very big baby, like a very tall baby or a very long baby, and like and appropriately like her weight, because she's always really long. This baby is pretty much like average height, and her weight is lower or something like that. So like I don't know if it was like her height or her weight that she was like in like the 35th percentile, and I was like, that's really low. But the doctor said that percentiles don't really matter too much, aren't that significant at such a small age. And it's not until later does it really matter, but yeah. So I'm not really worried about her, but I just I just think that it's interesting. What else? This whole time I've been, so by the second week, I think her like umbilical cord had fallen off, and I gave her her first bath, and I think I have footage of that, so I'll try to insert it in this video. Because I didn't do that much footage, really, honestly, this past month, because I was just in a lot of pain. I was busy doing, taking care of the kids and things like that, and I wanted them to be my priority, and I haven't, really honestly been in the mood to turn on the camera. But I do take pictures daily, and, I post them on Instagram and things like that. But if I do have, like, little clips, I'll try to insert it in this video. And what else? She, like, really loves to pull my hair. And I don't, like, I had much longer hair with my first daughter, but maybe my hair is at that, maybe the ends of the hair at the, I don't know, but she just really likes to pull my hair. And it's funny because my breasts were hurting so much that my hair was longer. I actually cut my hair, I think, within the first week, because I cut like maybe that much, like a couple inches, just to get it off most of my breasts. And yeah, so there's like a lot of things that, yeah, anyway, so that was just like a last minute thing, and I just did it really fast. I did it right before I took a shower. I did it like in 5 minutes. I just wanted it cut, and I kind of think I should cut it a little bit shorter, so maybe she can't reach it when she's down here, but whatever. I might cut it. My bangs I already cut. My bangs just keep growing. Like, in terms of talking about my hair, like, for the first couple of weeks, my hair didn't fall out, and then I think by week 3, it's starting to fall out, but it's not like in crazy clumps or anything like that. I still have a lot of hair. It's just been falling out, maybe like 1 or 2 strands every once in a while. So that has not been that bad. Not that I'm really all that worried about it. But I feel like my hair is still growing pretty fast, because I had already cut my bangs like maybe a couple weeks ago, and now I have to cut it again. So yeah. And then, week 3 was just like starting to feel better. Week 2, I think I might have started to also go out on walks, and which is, the only thing you could do is you compare from this time to last time. And last time I didn't leave the house for like an entire month. So this time, maybe it's because, I have 2 kids now, so, it forces you to do certain things. But I have been going out on walks. The weather has been beautiful here, which is amazing. It's like, I find, like, it's like maybe like a one time, like, I like love living where I am right now, because back on the East Coast, I know it's like already in the 40s. And here I'm just like wearing a t-shirt. And I've been going out on walks, which has been really good. Yeah, so that has been really good. And week 3, I've been, I have on here, I vacuumed. I did vacuum. I was feeling that much better. I vacuumed the whole apartment, and I've been taking it out, my oldest daughter, to play outside with the kids, because like in our apartment complex, there's a lot of neighborhood kids, and I had been feeling bad because I hadn't been able to take her out because I was breastfeeding at that time, or I was sleeping or tired or whatever. So I had started taking her out again when she sees the kids out, because she's like so excited to play with the kids. And I always want her to like play and interact with, her friends and things like that, because I think that's like really important. So I was able to do that. So I was just feeling a lot better. I mean, talking about her as well, I think the other challenging part was trying to find balance with the 2 kids, like balancing your time and attention with both of the kids. Because when you have a newborn, it's like they have a lot of needs, and they always need you, and like it's like this new person in your life, and you just want to give them a lot of attention. But you also need to, balance your first child. And it's so funny because at the end of my pregnancy, I wasn't carrying my first daughter that much because she's heavy, and I didn't want to induce or premature labor or anything like that. So you're intensely with your newborn for the first couple of weeks, and then I was like trying to like lift my daughter up, because she has really bad eczema, and I was trying to lift her up on the sink because we were gonna like soak her feet or whatever, and she was so heavy. She was like crazy heavy, and because I hadn't carried her for so long. I mean, I would carry her, I would like lift her up on the toilet, but that was like pretty much it. And in comparison, she's like so heavy. And I know I lost a lot of muscle mass during my pregnancy because I just hadn't been that active, and I hadn't been doing exercise or things like that. So, or lifting heavy things. And so I know I had lost some muscle mass, but when you go from carrying a newborn to a 4-year-old, it's like a world of a difference. And especially if you have like weak arms like me. And so that was just really funny. I was like, oh my gosh, you're so heavy. And like I said, I was like doing nighttime. I was continuing my nighttime potty training like the day after I came home, and pulling her out of bed was like, it felt like pulling out a teenager out of bed. She was like so heavy. She was so big and so heavy in comparison to this baby. But so yeah. And then week 4, so this past week, I finally have, and I haven't even finished, honestly. I have to finish it because like Halloween is this week. But I finished the hard part of her Halloween costume, and there was a dad's day at her school, and I did take the baby. I was worried about the baby because she, at the 2-week checkup, the doctor said, if your baby gets sick, or if your baby gets a fever before 1 month, then she automatically has to go to the hospital. And she like listed like all these tests that they do. I was like, really? That's like, really? Like all those tests, like as a standard, like all these tests. And like we hook her up to all this stuff and blah blah. So I guess like it's like really serious if they get a fever. But I just don't remember the first pediatrician with my first daughter. I don't remember him telling me that. And I hate like hearing kind of like those things, because I rather almost be ignorant in some sense, just so I don't have to worry about it so much. It's like I'm like waiting until she turns 1 month, you know what I mean? Just so she's out of that, immediate hospital danger zone kind of thing. So there was like a dad's day at Michelena's, my first daughter's school, and I did bring the baby, and the baby was awesome through the whole thing, except at the very end when they did like a singing thing, she woke up. And I kind of like missed the singing part. I didn't get any video footage or whatever, which that was like the main thing that I wanted to do with her. But anyway, she's been invited. My first daughter has been invited to all these birthday parties, and we missed all of those. But she actually said that she didn't want to go to any of them. But like every single week since I gave birth, she's been invited to a birthday party, and we haven't. I don't know, maybe I guess when kids get older, or when they reach the 4-year-old range, like all the kids are having birthday parties. So yeah, there's that. And then this week we also went out to dinner, which was, kind of a big deal because, you're like pretty much always at home with your newborn. Where did we go? We went out to dinner somewhere. Oh, we went out to Japanese near her school. It's like her favorite, and it was like a really nice night. It's like so nice out. It's like end of October, but it was so nice out, and right next to our favorite Japanese place, there's the Baskin Robbins, and I took her to Baskin Robbins. And I watched a movie. Hold on. I also watched a movie with because I've been watching a lot of TV because I've been sitting on the couch a lot breastfeeding, and there's nothing on TV, and it's not like I don't watch TV I don't watch TV, and it looks like I haven't been missing much. So I was like telling my mom, I was like, yeah, like I guess I haven't been missing much because like there's nothing interesting on TV. And she asked me if I wanted to watch movies, and she took my first daughter to the library, and then she took out some movies because it's free. And a couple nights ago, I think it was like Friday night, we watched Divergent. So yeah, we're gonna try to start watching more movies now. And yeah, that'll be interesting. The only thing is I don't know what movies to watch because I don't watch TV and I don't read magazines anymore, so I don't know what movies are actually out. So if you have any suggestions of movies I should watch, like not current movies in the theaters now, but like recent movies that are on DVD now, please let me know in the comments because I'd love to know what movies I should watch. So she got Divergent, and then she got another movie that I think won an Oscar, and I forget what it was called, and I don't know what it's about. But so yeah, I'm gonna start watching more movies now, and it's fun because it's like finally me and my mom can finally spend some quality time together, and even watching a movie is just quality time. And I did post some videos. Please check that out on our thing. And generally, I think it's been like I'll have like a burst of energy. Hey friends, so my camera, I think the memory ran out, so I switched out the memory cards, and then the battery died, and then it didn't record any of the stuff that I was saying when I was filming on this new memory card. Anyway, so I just wanted to kind of wrap up this video. I don't know what I ended on in the last segment, but I do just want to wrap this up so I can get this video out. So anyway, I hope this video was somewhat interesting. I will try to get back in the swing of things in terms of filming. Honestly, I think with so many things going on, and most of it or a lot of it being kind of in pain, I just haven't been like kind of up to filming, but I want to try to slowly get back into the swing of things because, you know, I love watching. I love just watching it just because, you know, it's like things happen so quickly and then, you know, you forget, or it's just like it's good for memory, and it's fun to watch, at least from my perspective. Anyway, so yeah, so I just like charged all my stuff, and we just got back from a walk, and yeah, I guess that's it. Please subscribe to this channel if you aren't already. We're gonna have much more adventures, and I'm gonna try to crank out some more videos, and you know, I'm thinking about maybe doing Vlogvember, or you know, I definitely want to try to do Vlogmas if I can, and yeah, sorry, I feel really bad not knowing where it cut off. So anyway, I hope you're having a great day. Please, again, like, subscribe, and follow me on social media. I'm mostly on Instagram now, but also Facebook. Those are my top two, but mostly more Instagram than Facebook because, I don't know, I just like Instagram. And all my social media links will be down below. Please also follow my blog. It's piecesofm.com. That will also be down below. And I will talk to you guys very, very, very soon, I promise. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!